So, okay, full credit to you.
Whoop, whoop.
This was your idea.
Yeah, it was.
And full credit to Austin and Zach, because it's like, I've gotten used to now where like the crazy idea gets thrown out.
Sure.
And then getting help on executing.
Yeah.
Because the truth is, the way that this place was set up before was completely with the idea of I'm the only one, like I'm here running it by myself.
Sure.
And well, that was fun whenever like I would go live with Wayne and run and hit the button and then run. And then I'd be like,
Yeah. We've evolved.
Yeah, it's like the show's over, but I'm going to go stop it now, like that
like
kind of thing. So like this was your idea and here we are. And is it just me or does this place feel like way bigger now?
It does feel way bigger. And it's just kind of neat because I get to see you the whole time without like trying to.
Yeah, so we're not doing the weird thing of like, are you looking at me? Where do I look? Are you looking at me? And then there are many more cameras. And so now I've gone down the rabbit hole with these guys this morning. I'm like, I think we'll get like 3 of those. And then it'll be like, oh, because okay, a little bit of nerd talk here where that particular camera, the 2-shot that we're looking at right now, actually is made by the same company that makes the little gimmick that switches.
Oh, okay.
So it's like they're friends, like automatically. Like,
I love that.
Yeah, they know
They talk to each other.
Yeah, they know each other.
Great.
It's like, yeah, we went to the same school, that kind of thing.
I love it.
So how are you doing?
I'm doing okay.
Injured reserve.
No, I'm on the IR, which is not
pup, physically unable to play.
Yeah, so my husband's not happy about it either, and so it's not been good. So I played 6 hours of pickleball on Monday, and I was literally like my last game, right? And that's always when it happens. And there's this old guy that we play with.
Old being.
He's older, but he doesn't move a lot, but he's really good. He just flicks it over the net, right? So you're trying to run as fast as you can and do all this other stuff.
Oh, okay.
And
so
he's
got his gimmick shot.
Yeah, that's his gimmick shot, and he just flicks it over the net. And I run trying to I'm on the left side. I dive to try, not like dive as in like dive to the ground, but like stretching out.
Okay.
It strained my left pectoral muscle. And then it hurt so bad I fell on my left side. I was so bad. It was so bad.
Oh, my Lord.
So then I'm not even worried about my injuries. I'm just going, I'm so embarrassed right now. And then the owner of the club is playing on the next court. And all of a sudden he looks where he goes, Ashley, are you okay? I'm fine, Juan. Just don't talk to me. It's like one of those things where don't touch me, don't talk to me. And then
never bring this up again.
No. And so I continued to play and finish the game because I'm a psychopath.
Oh, and you would have made a great hockey player.
Oh, 100%. Like I would have been Dirk playing with the flu in the NBA finals.
Yes,
right?
but like hockey player. Like
about hockey player.
Busted teeth, gold medal.
Oh, 100%. Totally would have been that jack guy with no teeth going, I did it, Mom. Right? Like it's great.
Okay, so now I'm curious. You said 6 hours of pickleball. So an NFL game is 60 minutes, but it seems like they only play like, 11 seconds. So like out of 6 hours of pickleball, how long are you actually physically
in play?
In play?
Over 5.
Okay, that's impressive.
Yeah.
Cardio.
Yeah, it's a lot. So it's great and I miss it. So I haven't been able to play since Monday. Shout out to Tyler Kreis. We had something to do together the next day. So on Tuesday, I can't bend over without feeling like somebody just punctured my lung and gasping and I like tear rolling down my face. So I can't bend over. He can't sit down because he's bruised his tailbone. We're the youngest ones in the room and he's got a chair cushion. I can't move.
Sitting on a donut.
Oh no. And so he thinks it's really funny though. So yesterday we were at the blast off event for Metro Tech.
Oh yes.
Yeah. So that was fun. And so he turns around and he sets my water on the ground and he just looks at me and I'm like, listen, bitch. Yeah.
Okay,
so,
that's awesome.
Which is again why I can't be in a corporate environment because we do shenanigans like that. So I'm getting better, but I think I have it's like inflammation around there and everything.
Strain.
And it's a strain. But then, well, how do you go to the doctor? And it's like, hey, can you fix this? Right?
Yeah.
Like, at least there's a little gravity that's taking place so I can maneuver. I've been icing it and I look like a wounded quarterback. But it's been a dignity issue this week.
Yeah, there you go. It's humility. It's an infusion of humility.
So I just don't know when I'm going to be able to play again, but I'm going to try in the next couple of days. And I might have a rib out of place. So there's that. I digress.
Okay, that's awesome. That's awesome, but also painful, and it's also impressive.
Thank you.
Yes.
Okay, that's what I do.
Yeah.
I'm never quit.
That's it. That's the secret.
Yes, it is the secret.
If you don't suck and you don't quit, you'll be fine.
Eventually you figure it out.
Yeah.
Eventually you go from running and pressing the on button and off button when you're doing a podcast to a really cool setup with actual production
with guys
people
that know orders of magnitude more than you.
Yeah.
And like it's magic where, so you throw the idea out, whatever that was, like it was like Wednesday.
Wednesday.
It was Wednesday. So like from Wednesday to a week and a half later, it's executed.
I love
and
it.
we've got the gimmick, the neons behind you.
I know. That's the only thing is I get distracted and I look at myself to make sure I don't have hairs out of my place when we're the other way. So I'm just trusting you.
Oh, yeah.
That I look appropriate from behind. Are you laughing? There's probably a big...
Oh, no, there's no shot from
Okay,
behind.
good. Okay.
No. So like, look, you can see up there on the big TV.
Oh, I look nice.
Yeah. Oh,
Okay.
and look at the lighting is far more cinematic and flattering than, especially on me, where I'm like, oh my God.
You're like, okay, this is staying.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, I might not. No, actually, I'm gonna have my face resurfaced. Okay. Yeah.
You're still
Well,
gonna
there's
do
also
that.
we're doing it for the gram, so it's like
I understand.
but like there now, like this looks way better.
So this is exactly, I've been thinking about this because there's a lot of stuff that's going on just in the world with technology and AI and workflows. And, you often hear people say, what's the difference between somebody who's successful and like super successful? It's the speed in which they execute, right?
Yep.
And so there's plenty of people that have succeeded in life, but when you look at those people, the ones that like, how did you do it? And they're like, I just went faster than the next person. You didn't take a month and a half researching, trying to figure out with all of this. It's like, hey, just figure it out, know, and let's go. And you'll continue to dial it in. But that's exactly why the two of us are unemployable.
Yeah, 100%.
Because in a normal work environment, nobody would have allowed you to
nobody will
pivot
sign
something.
off.
Nobody would sign off on something like this. And I think that is the problem that we're dealing with right now in this world, is that the world is moving at a speed and a cadence we have never seen before.
Yeah, like it's if you have to think about it or go take a class or whatever, game over.
It's done.
Yeah.
Grant Cardone was watching him, like him or not, the guy's a smart guy, right?
Yeah.
And so he was talking on a podcast and he said, and it was specifically around investing. And he said, if you're investing in college towns, get out as fast as you can.
Oh, yeah, because wasn't that like one of his gimmicks before, was you have the rental properties in a college town, because that totally tracks.
He said, education is dead.
Yep.
And so, and
rightfully so.
And not just your university models or anything else. And he said, and if you still want to invest in college towns, better be in your top 10, because that'll take longer to eradicate,
the
right?
name equity of like Ivy League or whatever is going to be around for a while.
Yeah, so that's a little bit different. But education is dead, and that starts right away. That's elementary school, middle school, high school, everything else, because the speed in which things are happening and children are having to adapt to that to actually be successful in the real world. The modern education system is not equipped to do that.
No, they are not compatible.
Yeah.
Like for example, so I just hired 2 full-time VAs.
Good for you.
Thank you. I'm actually very excited.
I love that.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, now I come in here, this place feels bigger. It feels like more, and then yesterday I did the interviews, the speed dating for the executive assistant.
Okay.
And it was great because, I figured out how to do the interviews last week when I did the one for the inside sales. And so then I'm able to get with AI. And the cool thing about, so shout out to Sphere Rocket. They're local too.
They are local.
And shout out to Wayne for hooking me up with Sphere Rocket, even though I met the guys in Orlando like 2.5 years ago, but I was just not there. But where you're talking about the speed, it was, so I learned last week in the speed, like I kind of bumble dick through it and it's like, but I got the one. But they send the resume, the disc profile, and a couple of other documents. So this time, before I go to the call, I actually run everything. I take my disc profile, put all of the candidates, we put it in the blender inside of Claude, and I'm like, give me the rundown.
Which one is going to work best with me?
Which one would work best with me? Give me the questions to ask them. And then the other thing was, I had a couple of really cool things happen business-wise from a macro level. Yeah. Oh, and shout out to TK. We're now like totally hooked up.
Yay!
And,
Love that.
I think we've done 2 listings for him.
Great.
And the best part there is whenever I can do like the high level thing with him.
Yep.
And then he also can text me. So this is like my thought of like what it's supposed to look like.
Okay.
We're like the 2 owners or the 2, whatever. Because he's the broker owner. I'm the owner, operator, whatever.
Yeah, the studio and the
Yep. And so like we have the team, we have it baked in, and then his gal knows now the back end and all that stuff. And I think we've got that almost 100% dialed in. But he's able to text me and say like, hey, can you guys do a shoot tomorrow in Richardson?
Right.
And I jump into so we have varying degrees of text threads with the team.
Okay.
Sometimes it's everybody. Sometimes it's just photography. Sometimes it's just the editors. So I can jump in and say like, who's available tomorrow at like 1 p.m. in Richardson? And then somebody else chimes in and says, well, so-and-so just canceled. So now Cruz didn't even know his job had canceled or rescheduled or whatever. And he says like, Cruz is free. And he's like, what? And so it like all happened like that, lightning fast. And it happened almost immediately. And it was like, okay, that was cool. Ooh, that felt fancy, And then I'm able to get back with TK and be like, hey, dude, boom, got you. And he's like, oh, badass.
No, you are creating leverage speed in real time for you to be able. And that's the problem that people don't understand is when you're talking about workflow automation and everything else, that's great when you can have different streams and apps and all these other things. I don't have time to interface in 42 apps. And right. that is why. So you are creating solutions for your business owners that are operating on a speed that they're having to. And instead, I just want dumb it down for me. Shoot in Richardson tomorrow at 2 p.m. Great, right? But you can't operate in that vein if every single client is doing that without infrastructure on the back end. And you just created that. So what did you just do? You gave me my time back as a business operator in real estate to be able to sit there and drive with one knee, talk to text in the other, right after a client sits there and says, we need to move up the photo shoot or do something else. And it's not, hey, Ashley, can you open up the app, put in the details? And it's not that I don't want to be in your ecosystem. Yes.
And that's the thing that a lot of folks get tripped up on, where it's, especially if they don't have the experience of running a business.
Sure.
Where it's like, okay, because I said to Austin, it's like, yeah, I would love these ideas or whatever. But prior to the middle of February, it was like, everything's on, like, right now, the front, like the public facing thing was, everything's just,
everything's
it's a party.
It's fine. Everything's fine.
It's great.
Everything's great. Yeah. Everything's great.
That.
Yes.
Meanwhile, in reality,
everything's on fire.
If I do that, it's nothing good. It's carnage. It's blast radius.
But how quickly have you gone from that to today, a month later, even where you're sitting there and you've implemented, you didn't overthink it. And that's the thing that we're consistently doing. We're overthinking everything we're trying to implement. Nothing's going to be perfect out of the gate. And that goalpost is going to move.
Big time. Oh, yeah. I was the king of the, nope.
Pivot. Yes.
New business model.
Yeah.
That thing we thought was a thing is not a thing.
But that's my point is, that is how quickly the world is changing. When you're talking about what jobs are going to be here 18 months from now, that list is going to look different, right? I mean, people are sitting there and saying, here are the areas in the world or in the job marketplace or skills that you need to be honing in on. And that could change 18 months from now when we actually see what the robots can do for us.
Yes, because there's the thing now where I see all of these. I'm a huge fan. My attention span is trash.
No way. You don't say.
I know, it's hard to believe.
It's hard to believe as we're sitting here right here together.
Yes, exactly. But I'm fascinated on like, the AI Armageddon or whatever. And then all of these, prognosticators or whatever. And all they're doing is like fear mongering on the channel just to get clicks and like shitty thumbnails or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. But I look at that and it's like, that is not how it works, and the idea that AI is going to replace you or AI, any of the things that are being thrown out there now, it's just not true. And then to me, it's going to be the blend of the people and the relationships that are augmented. So like right now, one of the things I did with the executive assistant yesterday is like, hey, are you familiar with WhatsApp? Because she's like, oh yeah, absolutely. They're in the Philippines or whatever.
Sure.
She's like, yes, absolutely. Every day, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, good. Because the robot lives in WhatsApp with us. And so it said, so I didn't want to like freak her out but it was like, okay, we're going to tiptoe into WhatsApp and I will show you how to do this. And then all I'm doing right now is trying to get from free crack to a budget for crack.
Yes.
Because of the way that the model changed. But I could tell her, and this was the thing where all of a sudden, like,
well, what people are trying to let's just break it down for 2 seconds, which is you were sitting there creating a robot to feed the robot when OpenClaw actually came out.
Yes.
But then the cost to actually, because there is stuff that is working in the background.
The loophole was closed.
Yeah, the loophole was closed to now you have to, there's a cost to try to automate and continue to feed it in that capacity. So you needed a driver outside of yourself to be able to do that in the background.
Because for $200 a month for, a week and a half or whatever, 3 weeks, my idiot ass could be watching pro wrestling.
And you were.
And I was. And I'm just running reports. And
Right.
I'm just sitting there thinking, like, what else can I make it do?
Right.
And there was no cost associated with it because it was all under the umbrella of
Sure.
the unlimited max subscription.
Sure.
Then they pivot, pull the plug while we're at the RP event in Fort Worth.
Yeah.
I'm having the full-blown panic attack of like,
My life is over. My robot is
I was
gone.
like, I just had a truckload full of crack and now it's gone.
Yeah.
You know?
No, but that's so. Here's what I'm going to say because I do have because I realized I have 42
yes.
appointments layered on top of this. But one, hey, when you get that executive assistant dialed in, because you and I are on a very similar cadence and wavelength.
Yes.
You let
Separated
me
birth.
you let me know, and then you train her right.
Yes.
So,
Well, and I already told Reese, I was like, okay, here's the thing, and it's
Yeah.
like Mac Mini, blah 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 blah. Because like Wayne, he had like I have a MacBook, and I said, well, send me the specs.
Yeah.
You know, like you don't want to go whole hog on this thing, and then all of
Sure.
a sudden it gets caught in a loop, and it's like the national debt going behind
sure,
the
it's
scenes, and
great.
you don't know that.
Yeah.
But yes, absolutely. So the idea is now you will have humans that then coordinate with each other. So the executive assistant will actually manage the salesperson, and then the two of them together with the help of the robots will. Because I was telling her like, okay, well, if I have a list of 100 people that are an event, it's like, okay, well, I'm going to have you with the robot come up with everybody there that is like a hierarchy of what to do. And then we're going to figure something out. Then you're going to have her implement that cold outreach. And then we're going to throw all that back into the wood chipper robot. And then as the executive assistant, now you do the warm call where you're calling on my behalf.
Which would have taken probably 2 weeks to 4 weeks before, right? And then you lose all the momentum because it took that long,
Yes.
but you are still doing it strategically. So you said warm, right?
Yeah.
And you're layering on
Go
top
from
of that.
cold to warm.
Yeah, no, and that's absolutely amazing. So the last thing I want to touch on real quick before we go. So it was so interesting. So Sean Rabb, Fox 4 News. He's a buddy of mine now from all the stuff that we had to do when I was president during the lawsuit times. Did so many interviews and everything else.
Yes.
So anything he touches on real estate.
The TAR spokesperson training came in handy.
Yeah, there you go. But he'll often text or call me and say, hey, I'm going to run a story like this. I either want to interview you or I want your perspective, make sure I'm going down the right track. And he called yesterday and he said, I'm doing a piece on AI brokerages, not brokerages utilizing AI, but full AI brokerages. And so he's like, what does that look like? And I said, look, at the end of the day, it's just like the instant buyer platforms that we saw getting a lot of steam. There's going to be a demographic that likes the idea of never dealing with somebody, right?
Yes.
I mean, there are those people out there. But what they do realize is AI is just informing and empowering people with more information than they ever have. And I think what it's doing is actually setting proper expectations in our business. And so I want a more informed consumer before they come to me. I want them to understand that the process isn't just opening the door. And in fact, thank goodness I don't have to do all of these other things now. And I can just focus on being a pit bull negotiator and getting you the best result, whether you're a seller or a buyer on the other end. Let me get to where I am best, right? And not have to do all the other administrative and ancillary things that are
it's like running in mud.
Yes. No, 100%. So it was just an interesting perspective. And I think people, again, because those hyperbolic bylines and everything, the robots are going to take over the real estate world.
Yes.
I can assure you that is still not going to be the case, but there's going to be a lot of automation that is going on into our workflow. And I, for one, am here for it. But again, that's why we're unemployable, because you know what? Our bosses in the corporate space would sit there and say, slow down. There's a committee for that.
Yes.
Process the paperwork. Well, let's do an audit in 6 months.
Let's put a task force on that.
Let's put a task force on that when 2 weeks from now, it's not even going to be relevant. And so you got to get in the game. You got to go fast.
Yes.
And that's what I love about being highly unemployable.
Likewise.
This was fun, buddy.
Yes.
Okay. Next time.
Thank you for the new decor. Absolutely.
You're welcome. All right. We'll see you later.